As I said, the environment is very, very bad in the investment environment in Kuwait because Kuwait government, we have, of course, the largest government in the world per capita, the most expensive in the world per capita, the least efficient. I don't know the least efficient in the world, but it's a very expensive government that does very little. And it is a huge bureaucracy and a lot of corruption. When you have such a government, you don't like to operate, you don't have a proper environment for the investment sector to operate in. And because of that, you will find the investment world is having a very, very difficult time these days. The government is in control of most of the assets in the country, like real estates. Government of Kuwait owns more than 90% of the lands of Kuwait. Some say even up to 93%. Kuwait government owns all the oil and whatever services that come with oil, 100%, production, distribution, refining, marketing, almost all totally government. So there's no real investment opportunities in the most vibrant sector that Kuwait has. Kuwait government is in control of all power stations, electricity, all the post offices, all terrestrial lines of telephones, you name it, all the ports are owned by the government, all airports, all not all airlines, but one major airline, only one other airline that's private, just recently. So there isn't much to invest in. Even the investment real estate has been badly damaged, simply because, not only because of the financial crisis, but because of the economic policy of the government. When there are no investments, when the expat population has been leaving the country, of course, the Arab Spring has stopped that move. There was a move out of expat people from Kuwait because of the bad economic situation inside the country. But of course, the Arab Spring, the problems in these expat countries have stopped that to a large extent. So when the government has no projects, no new businesses to develop, the real estate, of course, suffers, and especially the commercial real estate. So you go to the investment, where do I invest? What do I invest in? No opportunities. It's either government, and they don't open up. Privatization law has been passed, it has not been enacted at all. Government took the law and shelved it. Nothing has been done on it. They haven't privatized anything for the last few years. They enacted a law called the BOT law. Nobody's been able to benefit from it because it has so many restrictions that investment companies don't find it interesting enough or profitable enough to get into it. Most of the projects that the government put for the public has not received any investor in most of the cases because of bureaucracy and restrictions. So the investment environment is bleak. If not very bad, it's bleak. I can see investment opportunities in the different sectors that have to be privatized in Kuwait. In the health sector, in the oil sector, in the energy sector, and in the real estate sector. All these sectors can have a lot of potential if the government takes the right actions to tackle the issues and the problems that we have. Some are, of course, legislative, like changing the laws or easing or enacting new laws. Give you an example like the corporate laws in Kuwait. It is still pre-1961 when we didn't even have the Kuwaiti dinar. We were dealing with the Indian rupee at those days. And the law is still written in that, like you pay so many rupees and, Indian currency when we were under the British colony or British protectorate, we were called. And the law is still there, the same law. And look at what happened in corporate modernizations in the world and in Kuwait as well. Yet we have to deal with such an old law. So there are lots of things to be done. The government has neglected the private sector for too long, thinking that they have oil, they're getting income, why worry? But now they have found out that they're employing more than 93% of the Kuwaiti labor law. They have 50 people in each room that they cannot even have enough space to stand up, leave aside to have a desk. And so most people are not coming to work. So we have a big covered unemployment. They pay them salaries, yes, but this is not the way to handle your people, to make them productive people that can earn their livings, like we do in the private sector. So there's a lot to do in the government, but things could turn around very quickly.